Just for a second, everybody here, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Get quiet. I want you all to remember a time when you had a breakthrough. Biggest breakthrough you ever had. Go back. Step into what it felt like to have that breakthrough. Breathe the same way you were breathing. I want you to open your mind, open your heart. Go ahead and put your hands up in the air for a second with me. Just repeat after me. I declare that tonight I'm having a breakthrough. I declare that tonight I'm having a transformation. I declare that today is the day of my victory. I declare I am going diamond. I declare I am a leader now. I declare Empower Network is having victory. I declare I am a warrior. I declare I am getting on the leaderboards now, and I'm open to receive. I believe you. Who in here is pumped up about the future? Who in here believes we're going to have rooms of 10,000 people? Who in here believes we'll have rooms of 20,000 people? Who in here believes you can go diamond? Who in here believes and you have faith in your future? Who here believes that your poverty is over today? Who here believes it's going to be easier to sponsor today? Who in here believes that it's your time? It's your time! It's your time! I believe in all of you. I believe that tonight you'll all have a transformation. I believe you'll get a new vision. I believe you'll step into a new victory. I believe that you'll change on the inside. I believe your gifts are going to come alive. I believe you are a warrior. Let's sit down, sit down. 1, 2, 3. Just want to set the energy right. So I'm going to talk to you guys about something I've been talking to a lot of people about, and that's prospering. Okay? And I think that there's too many things out there people believe about prospering that don't help them. Right? And I think that too many people in this room are really struggling too much. Right? I think you're fighting too much. I think you're struggling too much. A lot of the struggle that you have is going inside your own heart and mind. It's not the company, it's not the products, it's not the comp plan. That stuff all helps. But the real problem has never been Empower Network. The real problem is always us. That make sense? Who in here believes that's true? Say aye. Who in here believes that's true? Say aye. Okay, that's good, right? I'm the problem, and therefore you're also the solution, right? That true? That true? Okay. So sometimes what we're doing is we're getting in our own way for getting the results we want. We're doubting ourselves. We're listening to people we shouldn't listen to. We're believing things we shouldn't believe. You know, we're saying things about ourselves that aren't even true. You know what I mean? How many people in here, you walk around sometimes beating yourself up, time to time, you know what I mean? Beating yourselves up, condemning yourself for the past, you know, saying, oh yeah, I just can't wait till I have that breakthrough to where I can finally be that leader who does this thing. How many people in here say things like this, right? Like, my breakthrough's just around the corner. And then like a year later, you're like, my breakthrough's just around the corner, right? I'm on the 2 to 5 year plan, then 2 to 5 years later, you're like, I'm on the 2 to 5 year plan. It's like, So when are you going to go diamond? 2 to 5 years. 5 years later, when are you going to go diamond? 2 to 5 years. You know, I used to love it in Amway. You know what I mean? When like you'd ask somebody like, how long you been in? You know, and they say, I'm just getting started. Well, no matter how long they've been in, right? It's like, well, yeah, well, so how long is that? I'm just getting started. How much money are you making? I'm more excited than I've ever been in my life, right? Well, okay. Okay. All right. The reality is, though, is that sometimes, no matter what we're in, we get stuck, right? You get stuck at lower levels, you get stuck at higher levels, you go up, you go back, right? Sometimes you prosper and you're abundant, sometimes you're not. Who in here has succeeded at something in your life? You've succeeded at something, right? I mean, for years, all I could really cling on to was I had a black belt in karate. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm 16 and I was black belt in karate. And then it's like, I'm 27 and I'm a black belt in karate. You know what I mean? Some of you, all your success you had, you were like the prom king or something, you know, back in 40 years ago, right? But you something. You know what I mean? But some of us, we've succeeded real big before, right? And then we've kind of fallen out of it. And then we've come back bigger and better, right? Some of us, we've succeeded really big before, and right now we're in the space where we're out of it. It'll change again for you, right? It'll change again for you. This is what I believe. I believe all things work together for your good over the long term. If you believe. Now, even when it sucks, that's still true. Even when it sucks. You just don't know why yet, sometimes till years later. In fact, a couple things in the past, I'll share some stories with you here. I remember starting Empower Network, have a vision about it. And I start working, started. Nothing works. You know what I mean? And then finally starts coming together. When I meet my first business partner, Dave Sharp, our energy bouncing off of each other was able to get things moving. And then I remember we finally got things we thought close to ready to launch, so we just decided to call a meeting and launch it. We do a meeting, the website doesn't work, so we take paper order forms. Everybody joins. We get like $30,000 in orders. And then our website still doesn't work a week later. We're trying to launch on Halloween, actually 4 years ago on Halloween. And website still doesn't work, so what we do is we tell people, hey, we won't let you join unless you're serious. You have to fax in your order forms. Why? Well, the website didn't work. We had to take orders somehow. So we get all these order forms faxed into like an e-fax number and then print them off. And we're sitting there with $250,000 in paper order forms on a table, trying to get the website to work. We hired this coder. I won't mention his name. And he was the only one that knew how to run this software we were using. Right? He quits 3 days before. And I was begging. I didn't know too much about employees, and I was like begging this guy. I was like, please, like, just we'll pay you more money. And he's like, no, I got a safe and secure job. I was like, how much are they paying you? They're like $12 an hour. I was like, I'll pay you $13.50. $16 an hour. And he's like, I just don't know if it's safe and secure. Seriously. And I was like begging that guy to stay, right? You know what I mean? Like he'd be whipping him with like the chain on the end of his beard for that. Safety and security. Whoosh. He knows how to get good people, right? So in any case, this guy's leaving and I'm feeling all desperate, and I'm sitting there with $250,000 in order forms like stacked on a table, a website that doesn't work, a coder that doesn't know how to code, and me with some PHP code. So guess what I do? How many of you in here know that like if you got a dream and you don't quit, you just try weird stuff to do it? If what you're doing not working, you just try something else weird. So I'm like, I'm gonna fix it. Right? True story. I log into the servers, right? 3 days before launch, and I start looking at PHP code. Like I could even read it. That's like if I was trying to solve a riddle in a Japanese book. You know what I mean? It's like, first of all, like without any guide as to how to understand the characters. You know what I mean? I'm just like looking at a Japanese book saying, I'm going to solve this riddle, and I'm assuming there, you know, I know there's a riddle in there because somebody told me who speaks Japanese, but they won't translate it. You know what I mean? That's about the equivalent of what I was trying to do. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this and I was like, shit. I'm scrolling through. And all of a sudden I scroll back. I go, wait a second. There's a phone number in there. So it's 10 o'clock at night. I pick up my cell phone. Or actually, no, I didn't have a cell phone then. It was Skype. So I pick up Skype, right? And I dial this phone number in this code. And this guy picks up, hello? I say, hello? He goes, who's this? I say, it's David. He says, why are you calling? I said, because I just found your phone number at my website. He goes, oh, which site? And I said, oh, it's empowernetwork.com. And he said, where'd you buy that code from? I said, this guy. He said, that guy's an idiot. He didn't know how to do anything. And I was like, yeah, we kind of figured that out, but like we're launching in 2 days and our comp plan won't work. He's like, what comp plan? And I explained it to him. He goes, that comp plan's stupid. You should do it like this. I said, just do it the way that I want. He says, okay, I'll fix in 2 hours. Hangs up the phone. 2 hours later, the website's working. I was like, that guy still works for us. Yay! How many people would have quit right before the breakthrough? Yeah, almost everyone. Not me. Why? I don't ever quit. I don't quit nothing. Doesn't matter what happens. Right? Satan appears right there with a pitchfork. I just say, fuck you. I ain't quitting. You know what I mean? It's like I just don't quit. Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter. That was the first thing. So then we get up and running. 3 weeks later, of course, we have run into several problems. First of all, we create so many blog accounts on a crappy blog system that was built by that same idiot that it crashes our entire server and deletes most of our database, right? And so we put this video of like this guy talking that was inspirational on a page. Well, that same coder reconstructed our whole affiliate database from random emails that were sent from the server. That was a miracle. Got it back on. The merchant shut us down. True story. This is all doing that. This is all like way back in 2011. This is only within like a month and a half, right? I mean, my God, how do we keep anybody around? I guess they believed in something, right? So, anyways, we keep fighting, and guess what happens? The merchant shut us down. Now, how many people would have quit when the merchant shut us down? About everyone else. Not me. Why? I don't quit nothing. I have a vision. I'm just going to do it. That's it. Period. Doesn't matter what obstacles stand in my way. Doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to do it. So, keep fighting, right? It's like 2 or 3 months with no merchant accounts? I mean, my God, we were making no money, spending $100,000 a month of our own money, with no merchant accounts, no processing, and Tracy Walker's sitting there getting her whole team to blog, just say, keep believing that it'll come back up. Right? That's called having faith, right there. That's why she earned $1 million, right? So these people are just sitting around waiting. All these cool people in power, they're just sitting around waiting for it to work again. I'm like, man, this is so cool. So finally, we abandoned the merchant account idea at the last possible minute. Now, some of you are like, well, that was a pretty big obstacle, and most people would have quit, and most people would have said that was a bad thing that happened, but was it really? All things make me prosper more. That's what I believe, and here's why. Because had we gotten any bigger than we were at the time, no merchant would have ever taken us after getting shut down by the largest merchant service provider in the world. Nobody. Any bigger at all. Right? Any sooner it had happened, we wouldn't have had enough success to keep people around. It happened at the only possible moment in time it could have happened for the universe to say, it's time to change directions. Seems like when something bad happens, it's always to cause something better, isn't it? Again and again and again and again and again and again through history. But the hard part is believing in your vision when the obstacles appear, because they will. Believe me. Because you have to fight through the obstacle to get to your breakthrough. But some of you will look at the obstacle and you'll cringe. And some of you, after you cringe, will uncringe and say, go ahead, try it. So the first thing I'll tell you is don't you ever quit. Right? Well, when should I quit? Never. I mean, the world explodes. We'll be floating through the universe on meteors sponsoring people.